Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Regarding the concept of God, a grave misconception which arises in the minds of many people is that if the Almighty is affectionate, if He is a merciful being, then why at all does He send adversities and calamities on His creatures? This question has often led many people to disbelief, and they end up at times not believing in God at all, because they think that they cannot believe in a creator who is a being who would send adversities and calamities on His creatures. Now, the concept of the Quran in this regard is that, of course, this world has been made on the basis of trial and test. People are being tried and tested on the basis of their deeds, and they will be rewarded on the basis of this trial in the hereafter. Now, as far as the wisdom or sagacity behind sending these adversities is concerned, we'll find that these adversities or these calamities, which in fact look to us as calamities, they are not calamities in their real sense. They have some very good message and something for human beings, which if they can infer from those calamities, then they will find that these calamities in fact are something which go in His own favor, in the favor of man. So, for example, we know that the Quran says that at times these calamities are sent to shield man from some greater calamity. We know that the whole universe and this whole world is based on the principle of trial and test, and one of the means through which we are tried and tested through these calamities. And at times the Almighty wants to shield us from a greater calamity, so He sends a smaller calamity so that we are cautioned by it, we are warned by it, and we are not led into something greater. So this in fact is an act of mercy from the Almighty. Similarly, at times the Almighty provides us with an opportunity by sending these calamities to be patient and to be thankful to Him in spite of these calamities, and therefore earn more reward for Him. So if we think deeper, we'll find that these calamities in fact are providing us with an opportunity to come closer to God, to thank God, and therefore earn more reward. This again is a positive aspect of the calamity. Similarly, we know that the Quran also says that these calamities are sent so that our inner purification takes place. And in the words of the Quran, لِيَمِيزِ الْخَبِيثَ مِنَ الطَّيِّبِ, so that good and evil are made distinct. And these calamities become a means of cleansing one's person, similarly cleansing the society from evil as well, because whenever these calamities come, it is the people who are tried about their attitudes, and this trial in fact is a blessing if people adopt the right attitude. And finally, we find the Quran saying that at times these calamities are sent as a punishment to people for their misdeeds. And this of course would be another a blessing in disguise, because had we been punished in the hereafter, the punishment could have been harsher, and this punishment in this world would have been easy to bear. So therefore this too is something which in its nature is something very merciful or very something which augurs well for man. So therefore, if we analyze these calamities, the adversities, and the various things that we pass through, the various hardships that we pass through, the difficulties we go through, we find that all of them are based on some wisdom, and all of them have something positive for man. If it is only a question of reflecting on the fact that all these calamities, all these oppressions and difficulties and hardships, they are primarily meant for the betterment of man, to improve his lot, to make him realize the fact that at times he might be doing something wrong, and here comes a calamity and suddenly cautions and prods him, and he suddenly realizes the fault that he is committing in his life, which he would not have realized had this calamity not come his way. So it is this positive mindset which counts, and on the basis of this we can say that these calamities are in fact blessings of the Almighty. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات.